Well, now the ECB apparently overnight has apologised and say they'll investigate after police were called to intervene after a noise complaint at the team hotel in Hobart, Tasmania. Apparently both sides had a bit of a drinkies get-together on Sunday night following Australia's 4-0. Demolition, whatever you like to call it, Ashes win. Destruction. And then, of course, as happens in these situations, a video clip emerged overnight allegedly showing Joe Root, bowler James Anderson, and the Australia trio Nathan Lyon, Alex Carey and Travis Head sitting at a table, dare I say it, filled with beer bottles. Yep. What were they doing? The group dispersed when they were told to disperse, and no further action is going to be taken by the police in Hobart. That's one thing. Yeah. Then on breakfast this morning, our own talkSPORT colleague, former cricketer Steve Harmison, said, come on, this is a storm in a teacup.
It's a non-story. The police have made a statement saying they came to the hotel, everybody behaved themselves, went to bed. The manager of the hotel has said, we often get reports of complaints of noise because we're in the middle of the city. People will say, what are they doing at 6 o'clock in the morning? You've got to remember, the game finished around about midnight. We have caged our sports stars up for the last 2 years now of COVID. We constantly put them in bubbles, constantly put them under pressure to perform, and restricted a lot of their ability to go out and be human beings. And when you get stories like this and you see things like this, I don't blame them. At the end of a tour, when you've just been battered and you're cooped up and you can't go out in places like that, I don't blame them having a drink sitting in the hotel.
Can you blame them? I mean, it's been a long series.
Well, judging by their performance, they've been drinking through the entire tour. Look, I mean, I give it some latitude because there is an element of, they have been under pressure. They are put into bubbles. There's a big argument around the travel arrangements and the amount of time they're going to be away. But come on now. It's a bloody privileged life to be an elite cricketer in the same way that it's a privileged life to be an elite footballer. Not quite the same levels of remuneration, I accept. The optics of it don't look great because we have been absolutely humiliated in the cricket.
But what did they do? Just shoot off to bed, though? I mean, come on, Simon. They've got downtime,
I just think there's a balance between putting themselves in a situation where something like this can find its way to air. And I understand. I'm not trying to be a curmudgeon about the fact that people should let off steam. But you're representing your country. You've performed so badly that maybe you should just keep yourself out of any opportunity for people to make this the latest indignation. We as the viewing public have had to watch your indignations foisted upon us. We have to watch the Australians basking whilst their backward sentiments are not allowing Novak Djokovic into the country. We have to watch their cricketers diminishing us to the point where we are an embarrassment. We are an embarrassment as a cricketing force in that set of games.
Simon, look, there's Mike, who's one of many listeners. I'd like to apologise to anyone who was offended by me having a drink last night as I watched TV. What's going on? We've got to stop apologising for living life.
I'm firmly in the camp. I'm not offended by them having a drink. I'm offended by the optics of how this has been elevated into something perhaps more than it was, or the very nature of these guys being out on the WAS, whether they're sitting around having... I look at it and go, they've done so poorly that maybe they should be at home drinking milk. I know that sounds really, really like I'm offended on behalf of those that aren't offended, but I am offended. I'm offended by their performance.
You're offended?
I'm offended by the degrading nature of that pitiful attempt to represent us on an international stage of cricket against our oldest rival. I think it's pathetic. I think it's embarrassing that our captain comes out and defends a fourth test draw when we held on with the last wicket. And we go into the next game, and on the last, we start the series with a fart, and we go out with one. They're not even loud farts; they're silent ones. And we go out with 124 all out on the last day, with the last 9 wickets going for 57 runs. And you can go out for a beer. You wanted to go home, didn't you? Get on a plane straight away, like the players do, and go home and spend time with your family because it was difficult being in a bubble. I like Steve, but come on now. Jobs for the boys mentality. All you need is Trevor Sinclair singing a song and you can whistle the tune next to him.
I get it. Air's turned a bit different in here. It's coming up to 12 noon.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.